All right, guys, welcome back to another episode of Sky's the Limit podcast. I'm your host, Mike Doherty, and today we have a awesome guest, Alec McElhinny, who is the owner and CEO of Landplay. Alec is a developer and founder and CEO who's quietly making a big movement in the alternative real estate space. He's completed over 54,000 of industrial value add projects and is currently wrapping up a few large projects that we're going to get into. So, with that, Alec, welcome.
Thanks, brother. Thanks for having me on.
Yeah. So, talk to me about the alternative asset space. What is it? Why do you like it? And why should other people know about it?
Yeah. So I focus on a couple niches in commercial real estate. I'm a really big believer of riches are in the niches. Um, and I'm also a big believer of not following the crowd. If a lot of people are doing something, you should probably be doing the opposite or going a different way. And I see a lot of people, and I see a lot of resources online for single family duplexes, fourplexes, and multifamily for value add and ground up. And since there's so much information available and so many people in it, I think those markets are saturated, and we're starting to see that as rates are coming up, and a lot of developers and real estate owners are kind of hurting from that. So I focus on a specific niche called flex space, which is industrial warehousing and office, kind of a blend of the two. And I find land and I develop flex space.
Okay, so you're finding the land, you're developing the flex space, and then are you selling it out, selling it off to an investor, or are you refinancing it and keeping it and leasing it out to potential tenants? What are you doing with it?
Yeah, that's a great question. It really depends on where it's at. So my future sites are all going to be between like San Antonio and Austin. And if it and I'm picking that area because it's a really high growth market. Around 1.5 million people are going to move between those two cities and all along the 35 corridor, which is that big highway or interstate that connects the two. And everything I develop between that, I want to hold. Other projects that I have, they're not really in high growth areas, and I don't have a lot of motivation to hold them. So if you're in an area where there's going to be high growth, I'd hold those.
Okay, no, it makes complete sense. So, I mean, the alternative asset class in space in general is very niche, very unique. What led you to want to be in that space? Tell me a little bit about your background. Not you don't just start, wanting to invest in the alternative space. So, I'd love to know a little bit more about you, your background, and kind of what led you to where you are now.
Yeah. I was in college studying to be an actuary. I was a math major, and an actuary basically does time value of money and integrate that with the probability of an event happening. So, like if you're in a life actuary and you're doing insurance, you'll predict when people are going to die, and based on current interest rates, like what's their life valued at, and how much can you charge premiums for them. So I used more those same equations to kind of figure out like what if I save like my actuarial income, like let's say it's like 30-40K a year after taxes and after I spend on life things like rent and whatnot. How much can I save up over 30-40 years in the stock market, and when can I retire? That was my big thing. And every time I'd plug that number in that my calculator, it didn't make sense. I probably plugged that formula in like 10,000 different times, and I could not find a way to make that make sense other than like increasing the interest rate. So I figured I have to find assets that you can get a better rate of return in the stock market. That led me to house hacking. So house hacking, I got my first duplex with an FHA loan. I think it was like 3.5% down, something like that. Um, and in that market, like houses appreciate for 3-4%. So you're already making your money back every year. And then you have your loan pay down and cash flow if you bought it right. So, and you have a place to live too if you bought it right. So, I figured I could get a higher return buying duplexes. And that was my plan. I was just going to buy duplexes and fourplexes for the next 10 years, and then I was going to retire. And then I met people flipping warehouses, and I'm like, oh, that's interesting. They can do exactly what I'm doing, but on a bigger scale. They can, instead of making 30, 40K on a flip for a home, I can make 300K to 3 million on a flip for a commercial real estate flip. So I got into commercial real estate and specifically industrial. So
Wow, no, it's crazy. We both kind of started on the same path, coincidentally enough, where was working, a W-2 job and did the whole house hacking thing, and was like, this isn't for me. So was able to save up more money and then just pursue real estate full time. So no, congratulations on all your success so far. Um, do you have a portfolio right now that? So obviously, I would probably say your active income is flipping these flex spaces, right? These warehouses, the industrial buildings. But do you have any passive income from portfolio that maybe it's flex spaces you've kept versus selling, and you've just refinanced them and you've rented them out and you're enjoying the cash flow from them?
yeah, I have a little bit of cash flow. I have been so something cool about real estate is like let's say you're going to sell your car. You bought it. Let's say you bought it for 10K and you're going to sell it for 15K. So you're going to make $5,000 off that sell of the car. You're going to have to pay capital gains on that, and whatever capital gains is for your that bracket. But um, you have to pay capital gains on that $5,000. And with real estate, it's really nice because you can just transfer that capital gains into the next project. So I've been rolling a lot of my projects into other projects essentially.
You're doing that by 1031 exchange?
Yeah, 1031's away. 721 exchange is away. You can do like a reverse 1031. There's a lot of different ways to do that, but and also I'm learning that
What's
people.
a 721 exchange?
Yeah, I tried doing one last year. I've not yet successfully done one until pretty recently. I think I think I found a deal where it will actually work. But essentially, it's helpful if you want to exchange your equity in a real estate property for equity in a fund or a development. So, and that's helpful if you want to partner with a landowner who, let's say his family has owned the land forever, and it's appreciated quite a bit in value, and you want to save them on tax money when they partner with you. So they'll 721. They'll exchange their equity in the land for equity in the development, and able to not have to pay capital gains on that. And then after that, they can 1031 out, or they can stay in with you. So
Oh wow. Yeah, I've never heard of 721 exchange, so that's really good. Interesting.
yeah. So
Um, so what's the next play for you here?
yeah. So I have two bigger developments that so we're breaking ground on one. We already own the site, and this is in the Austin area. It will be a retail and medical office development, 100,000 square feet. And it'll be six different uh, either metal or concrete buildings. Um, and then we have I got a site under contract on 35. It's I-35 frontage. It's right between Austin and San Antonio. I'm gonna do like a flex space, like a retail flex and outdoor storage product. So it's like a really really niche product, and that's kind of some like any investor listening to this. Like I really want to nail home like really focus on the niches. Like that's where you can make a lot of profit because there's a lot less competition in it. There's a lot less information on it, and it's really easy to learn a niche really really well. and know better than everybody else in the market because there isn't a lot of competition. If you're trying to build the next skyscraper, there's probably a lot of competition for that. If you're trying to develop the next multifamily building, there's probably a lot of competition for that. But if you find like a really niche product that not a lot of people are touching, and markets that people aren't touching quite yet, that's where you can do pretty well.
Yeah, no, it's supply demand as well, and there's a lot
Exactly.
more supply of the multifamily housing, um, and everyone, like you said, all the gurus are talking about multifamily investing, multifamily housing. So that's kind of where everyone flocks. It's like exactly to your point, it's where all the information is. So no, that's amazing that you're able to find success in the alternative space. Are you raising private capital to fund these builds for the flex spaces, or do you have your own fund, or how are you financing the build?
Yeah. So for the project out in Austin, I'm partnering with the landowner, so we're fully raised for that one. For the New Braunfels deal, I just opened up a 506c, um, and I'm doing like 4.5 million for the first two phases. So an investor will get they'll put an amount into the syndication, and they'll get a return based on what type of preferred return we're giving them, and we have a targeted RR when we have an exit. So after it will be a 2-year syndication. So after 2 years, they'll get their return, and I think they'll have higher than what I've predicted. But yeah, we have a pretty conservative pro forma and budget written up. So
That's amazing. And do you live over in the Austin area? Is that why you've chosen that specific area and geographic to do these developments in, or do you live somewhere else?
yeah, I was in DC before this, and that's where I was focused before. And I'm getting out of projects out in Fredericksburg. I I like that market, but it's a smaller market. Like in the town of Fredericksburg, I think it's like 100,000 people, and if you build, let's say 30,000 square feet of flex space, that really changes. That's quite a bit of absorption for that market. It's like how many of those can you do? And then out in the I-35 corridor between Austin and San Antonio, like that's millions and millions of people. Um, and not only that, you have like Dallas and Houston on the pretty close to those cities as well. So their absorption is just not as big of an issue out there. So I could build 100,000 square feet, and as long as it's a niche product and other people aren't touching it, like I don't have to worry about myself overbuilding. So
Yeah, no, that makes sense. So I ask every listen or every guest this, just because I'm genuinely curious. Is there any, different mindset books you read, or any? I have a follow up question as well. But is there any, different methodologies you follow, or mindset, books you've read? Anything just to kind of like, do you meditate? What do you do in your free time? Like, what do you do to really kind of focus in on what you do best, which is the alternative space. What helps you accomplish that?
yeah, I would say, have you read the book Vivid Vision by Cameron Herold?
No, not yet.
I'll send it over to you. It's I don't remember the exact premise of the book because I read it so long ago, and then I made a vivid vision, and now I just keep making edits to my vivid vision. But you make this document that's a 3-5 year outlook on what you want your life to look like, what you want your business to look like, and you get really granular with it too. You you know what you wake up to, like what are you gonna look out at? Are you gonna be on a balcony overlooking a city? Are you gonna be out in the wilderness? Are you gonna be in the suburbs? Who do you wake up next to? Is it your husband, your wife? Are your kids there? What type of father or mother are you going to show up as? What type of husband, wife are you going to show up as? What type of leader are you going to show up as? And like, what do you want your net worth to be? Do you want to be worth 10 million? Do you want to be worth 100 million? Do you want to be worth a billion? And it's really helpful writing this very detailed document of what your life looks like 3 to 5 years from now, because it really filters. It cuts all the bullshit out of your life. Everything, every opportunity, every business meeting, every interaction is filtered through, does this support my vision or does this not support my vision? And it actually makes it pretty easy once you're focused on something. I think it's easier than being unfocused and not really, achieving much. I think being really focused and achieving a lot is actually a pretty simple thing. It's all about finding things that align with you. So once you have your vivid vision, and you're very clear on that, and you've been reading through it, you run it through ChatGPT and have ChatGPT like prompt you, questions, or you just find whatever works for you. Like watch YouTube videos that inspire you, that add to that vision. You have a really clear understanding of what your future looks like. You surround people in your life um, who will get you closer to that vision. And I think that's the next biggest key. It's about who and not how. And after you surrounded yourself with those type of people, the opportunities just line up, honestly. Um, and I keep saying like focus on the niches. You'll kind of get a lot of there's a lot of things that you need to learn to be successful, but that just comes from naturally being around successful people. It's like how do you survive in high school, like, and make friends, and there's probably a long list of things that you have to know. But like just being around like cool people and nice people just makes it a lot more simple. You'll just learn all those things naturally. So
Yeah, no, that's awesome. You said one thing, ChatGPT, and it's I'm sure everyone's heard about it by now, but are you using ChatGPT for your real estate business? And if so, how?
I haven't figured out how to. I uh, I'm not quite. I don't think it's quite there yet to be helpful. If there's any online resource that's helpful, I would use Twitter. Actually, Twitter has a really awesome real estate community where there's very successful real estate entrepreneurs, developers, hedge fund managers, all that, and uh, they're just all like shit posting each other, and it's like it's a community, and you can reach out to any of them and start a relationship with them, and like be on the phone with somebody who owns like $100 billion fund pretty frequently, and that's crazy. Like that's never happened before, and it really democratizes information. There's people on Twitter like Tyler Alley, for example. He goes step by step. He GCs his own retail projects. He's a developer for retail, and he goes step by step how he finds sites, how he finds his own subcontractors, how he all the mistakes he makes, everything. And you just don't get information like that anywhere. You can't go on ChatGPT and look up what is a budget for a retail site as easily as just going on one of his long Twitter posts and just reading about exactly what he paid for each line item. So,
What's his
but
name? Tyler what?
yeah, Tyler Alley, I'll send you him. He's such a nice guy though, and
All
he
right, cool.
teaches at a school too, so or at college.
Awesome. Wow. Yeah, good for him, man. That's crazy. Walk me through another question I like to ask all of our guests. Walk me through your daily routine from the time you wake up to the time you go to bed. What's your day look like?
Yeah, I try to start working as soon as possible. I think routines are anything before work is going to waste your time and drain your energy. Like for me, for my first 3 hours or 4 hours of the day are my most productive. So I wake up and I try to get straight to work. And the second that I need a break, I might go get some coffee or something. But yeah, I just try to get straight to work. And then after that, like I'll have like breakfast or whatnot. And when I need a longer break, like I'll go work out at the gym. Um, but yeah, a life hack that I learned recently is like stay in like a really nice apartment that has like everything that you need. Like I just moved in an apartment that has like a super nice gym, like a pool, a hot tub. What else does it have? Like study rooms. and like there's awesome like successful people in here, so it's always like you can always start a cool conversation. So like find a really cool apartment, even if it's a little expensive, like just split it with some buddies. And it just makes life so convenient because instead of me driving out 20 minutes and 20 minutes back to the gym, I can just go walk downstairs. It's a minute away and I'm working out. So it saves me almost an hour. So
Yeah. Time is money, man. Time is money.
yeah.
Well, anything you'd like to share for the listeners that are just looking to get started in real estate? Maybe they're currently working their 9 to 5 job right now, but they want to take the first step into real estate. Any advice you'd like to give anyone?
Yeah, I would say the only way to do it is find a mentor. You need to find a mentor and maybe a couple mentors. And then the second thing is you need to be coachable. I don't care how smart you are or how good you are with people. If you're not coachable, you're not going to make it. It's just that simple. There's just so many things to learn, so many social cues to learn, so many legal documents, so many things that you just can't. It just doesn't make sense for you to recreate it yourself. Could you recreate it all yourself? If you're an absolute genius, you probably could, but like, why do it? There's that one Indian dude. I think it was like 100 years ago. He invented calculus. Well, calculus was already invented, but he grew up in the slums in India, and he didn't have access to um, any technology or anything that we did in America. And he basically like invented calculus. And like once he got discovered, it was like too late. Like he was already too old, and I think he died a little bit early too. So it's like, what could have he done for mathematics if he didn't have to recreate the whole thing? So don't reinvent the wheel. Like the wheel's already out there. Use it and be coachable. So it's that simple.
Yeah, no, I love it. I love it. Well, Alec, thank you so much for your time. Congrats on all your success so far in the alternative space within real estate. And yeah, let's definitely stay in touch. And where can the listeners learn more about you? Do you have an Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn?
I will be launching an Instagram probably the next couple months. But yeah, LinkedIn is a great spot. If you look up Landplay or Alec McElhinny, you'll find me.
Okay.
Landplay is probably the easiest way. And then I have Landplay or land-play.com. That's a great way to find me or find any of my
All right.
investments.
And we'll make sure to link all those links in the show notes. So, Alec,
Awesome.
thank you again. Appreciate your time and have a great day. Thank you for watching Sky's the Limit. We're always releasing new real estate content, so if there's something you want to hear, be sure to leave a comment. And don't forget to subscribe to our channel.